everyone, I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Tonight. Professional soccer in Modesto, that dream is one kick closer to reality. And just in time for weekend grocery shopping, Amazon Fresh is now open in Elk Grove. We take a look inside. Plus, we hit the back roads, the destination, one of the oldest bridges in Placer County. ABC10 Tonight starts right now. New at 5, professional soccer could be coming to Stanislaus County, and some folks are excited, huh?
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras was in Modesto today for the big announcement.
Applause in front of Modesto City Hall Thursday as Mayor Suze Wallen announced that her hope.
I look forward to the day when the first professional soccer game is held on the pitch here in Modesto.
Is now closer than ever to becoming a reality.
The Modesto City Council has voted unanimously to approve a letter of intent with the United Soccer League to begin negotiations to explore the possibility of bringing men's and women's professional soccer to Modesto.
Part of the reason why Modesto was the right fit was talking with business and community leaders, just the passion that they had for their community.
That passion must now turn into plans, including plans for a new stadium, how it will be funded, and which USL league will be the best fit.
We feel like Modesto can be one of the top teams in the country, and that's why we're excited about the start of this journey.
These new talks with the USL aren't the only sports-related negotiations happening here at Modesto City Hall. Officials are still fighting to keep their minor league baseball team, the Modesto Nuts. I asked city officials today whether they have the resources to negotiate with both sides at the same time.
We are committed to dedicating our city and our residents to what many sports venues and entertainment venues, retail, housing. This is all kind of part of it. The negotiations will be ongoing.
City leaders now hoping both negotiations will pass home plate or end up in the 6-yard box.
We are competitive in spirit and are driven to expand in a new era of local pride through professional soccer.
In Modesto, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Now, the agreement gives Modesto exclusive access to negotiations for 1 year, and they do have an option to extend the contract by 6 months if needed. As for the Nuts, the city has until April to negotiate a contract extension. The growing problem really all across the nation. Law enforcement facing a shortage of officers. ABC 10's Alicia Machado spoke to local agencies about what they're doing to tackle the problem.
The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office is down about 100 deputies, and the CHP looking to fill 1,000 officer positions. Agencies I spoke with are hoping that through recruitment events and incentives, they'll be able to fill the gap. Recruiting challenges hitting law enforcement agencies across the region.
I'm down 100, so everybody's down, and they're doing signing bonuses up to $100,000. No one wants to be a cop. The legislature made it harder now. You have to have a degree in 2 years, so it is tough to hire in this environment.
Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper speaking about the problem during a joint hearing of the Assembly and Senate Public Safety Committees this week on Prop 36. The sheriff explaining why they can't respond to every call for service.
Staffing shortages are real, and sometimes response times are delayed depending on the certain types of crimes. So things are prioritized.
Sergeant Tamar Gandhi says they're largely losing deputies to retirement and are trying to fill that hole, running 4 academy classes a year.
Right now, we're in one of those waves where we are looking for a lot of people in a short amount of time. We've got this wave of retirements, but we've got folks to backfill.
After graduating the academy, Gandhi says deputies make over $100,000 a year with incentives. So what's the issue with recruitment? Gandhi says a combination of things, from qualifications to rigorous training, as well as for some, the stigma surrounding law enforcement. The California Highway Patrol is also dealing with staffing challenges.
We're definitely down a very large number of officers, and it probably started back when COVID hit and it stalled our hiring process, but it didn't stall our retirement process. So we started losing officers, and now we were already playing catch up, but now it's probably doubly as bad.
The agency launched a campaign in 2022 and continues their mission to fill 1,000 officer positions, but the exact number of officers they're down is unclear. The CHP added an extra academy class, now at 4.
Still not able to keep up with retirement.
There is some good news. On Friday, the CHP will add 119 new officers to the force, the largest class since the inception of their ongoing campaign to hire 1,000 new officers. After graduating the CHP Academy, officers make a base salary of up to $117,000 a year. It does take time to get new officers out into the field. The CHP says their academy takes 26 weeks and the sheriff's office around 25. In Sacramento County, Alicia Machado, ABC 10.
Now, they had closing arguments today in Placer County for a man at the center of the county's first fentanyl murder trial.
Carson Shuey is accused of selling the powerful drug to a young man who later died. ABC 10's Devin Truby was in the courtroom today. Devin, what's next?
Well, closing arguments have wrapped and the jurors didn't have any time to deliberate today, so they'll be back tomorrow. It's 12 jurors, 4 men and 8 women that will decide if 23-year-old Carson Shuey should be convicted of murder in the death of Cade Webb. I got weed, Zans, perks, whatever you want, I'll get you. Placer County prosecutors opening with a powerful image of what 23-year-old Carson Shuey posted on Snapchat, followed by video of Shuey counting stacks of money, saying this is all from Percocets and marijuana. Shuey is accused of selling 20-year-old Cade Webb a Percocet laced with fentanyl that killed him on December 3, 2021. The prosecutor stating the drugs found in Webb's body matched the drugs Shuey had. GPS data also shows the two of them together at Shuey's apartment on the day of Webb's death. Shuey also took video of himself with the pills in the apartment. There are 3 charges for the jury to decide on: second-degree murder and 2 counts of possession for sale. The prosecution hopes they can convince the jury that Shuey knew the pills he sold Webb were dangerous. They showed a text message from Shuey saying, "I lose a best friend every month now. Everything laced with fentanyl. Let me know if you need that." The attorney saying 2 of Shuey's friends and his girlfriend died in bed next to him from an overdose before Cade Webb. The defense says this murder trial is about Placer County feeling pressure from the community to do something about fentanyl. They said Shuey is a street-level dealer and should only be held accountable for the possession charges, not murder. They said he didn't intend to kill Webb because he himself was using at that time. This is Placer County's second attempt to prosecute Carson Shuey. The first ended in a mistrial because an independent lab failed to provide a report. The jury will be back to deliberate on a verdict tomorrow. Reporting live in Placer County, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
And we'll certainly be following this story closely. Devin, thank you for that update. If you'd like to learn more about the fentanyl crisis, head over to ABC 10 Plus. There we have an in-depth look into what fentanyl is and how it and other opioids are fueling the worst drug crisis in the history of the U.S. The ABC 10 Plus app is free and available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Right now, a gallon of gas in California is going to cost you on average $4.75. It continues to be the highest of any state in the U.S. As state lawmakers return to work in a special session to debate cutting gas prices, California Republicans are introducing a new package of bills they say could help. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen explains what these bills are calling for and how the governor's office is responding.
Becca, Republican Assembly members tell me a majority of drivers have complained about the high cost of gas. They're hoping this new package of bills will temporarily suspend the state's gas tax to offer families some relief.
We're way above every other state in the nation.
Republican Assemblymember Tom Lackey is referring to California's gas prices. In an effort to address this, he proposed 4 out of 7 new bills as part of a package to address the cost of gas in California. Assembly Bill X2-2 would suspend the gas tax for 1 year, saving 60 cents per gallon.
60 cents savings per gallon of gas would go a long way in helping them meet their funds.
Assembly Bill X2-5 would provide a $100 rebate to drivers. AB X2-3, introduced by Assemblymember James Gallagher, would exempt gas from California's cap-and-trade program to save 30 cents per gallon. And AB X2-7, by Assemblymember Diane Dixon, would increase transparency on gas prices by comparing prices by state.
We want to provide relief in a meaningful way. We want to provide relief to the consumer.
On the final day of the regular legislative session, Governor Gavin Newsom called a special session on gas prices. Newsom has repeatedly blamed big oil companies for the high cost at the pump. He says he wants oil companies to keep reserves, avoiding supply issues that cause price spikes.
This is the time of year that we have planned and unplanned refinery maintenance, which spikes the cost of gasoline and spikes the profits of those that are doing the maintenance.
Assemblymember Lackey doesn't agree.
This is also deja vu from what happened back in March of 2023, right? And he said at that time that he had brought big oil to its knees. Do we see any relief? No, it doesn't work.
A spokesperson for Governor Newsom tells me nothing in these new proposals from Republicans would stop the spike in gas prices and would bring profits to the oil industry. Newsom has also said gas tax funds are needed for infrastructure investments, and there's no requirement for oil companies to reduce the price of gas, even with a drop in state gas taxes.
We're not wanting to make this permanent. Let's give it a try. It's worked in other states. Why wouldn't we want to try it?
Yeah, and Jeannie's here. We know refineries here in California also serve some neighboring states, and governors there are reaching out to our governor with concerns.
Right, Becca. You know, the governors in Arizona and Nevada have written a letter to Governor Gavin Newsom saying that they are concerned about mandating refinery reserves and that it would raise the cost of gas for their own communities. They've asked to be a part of any of these discussions moving forward.
Yeah, and Speaker of the Assembly, Robert Rivas, has been leading this summer's special session. A spokesperson for his office would not provide ABC 10 with a comment today in response to Assembly Republicans' package of bills. Jeannie, thank you so much.
Of course.
And we looked into the cost of a gallon of gas here. Right now, drivers pay a state excise tax of about 59 cents per gallon. According to caltax.org, California drivers also pay a federal fuel tax of 18.4 cents per gallon, plus state costs for the low carbon fuel standard, the cap and trade program, state and local sales tax, and an underground storage fee. Altogether, for gas priced around $5 a gallon, taxpayers pay about $1.23 per gallon in state and federal taxes and fees.
Let's talk weather impact now. I want to show you some of the scenes after Hurricane Francine moved through the south. Just look at this. It's now a tropical depression, but the winds and rain are still strong. Some drivers had to leave their cars after getting stuck in all that water. 4 to 8 inches of rain is possible for parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee.
Everybody was calling, I wish I could come out. I said, and they like, get out, get out. And I'm like, where do we go? We can't get out. The water's all over.
Hundreds of thousands are facing these conditions without power as we speak. So let's bring in Carly, because we know it's kind of been a slow start to the season, but things are certainly ramping up now.
Yeah, and that video is so dramatic. What's the deal with Francine now?
Yeah, it's a post-tropical hurricane or post-tropical storm, and we are watching it moving slowly, and that's where we could see that potential to still see inches of water remaining with this storm system, as it's now a low pressure system making its way fully to the north now, eventually steering its way as it catches a jet stream to the northeast. We do anticipate seeing a lot more of that rain, especially with its slow movement right now. It is currently moving 22 miles per hour. If it starts picking up, we'll finally see a lot of areas not necessarily deep in that water, but seeing more just a couple of inches versus potentially 4 to 8 inches of rainwater. Right now in the Big Mountain backyard, a little closer to home, we're dealing with warm temperatures, but not the hottest we've been or seen in a while. We're sitting in the mid to upper 80s. It's pretty nice outside. Tahoe at 70 degrees and sunny. With your weather headlines, our weekend will be warming, but that's mostly just for your Friday and Saturday. Then after that, you'll get more fall-like temperatures moving in for us starting on Sunday and into next week. We do see a slight chance of showers, though, unfortunately, into next week. Well, not unfortunately. Some good news, though, actually, for some people, as they do like to see some of this wet weather. But for some who wanted to be outside, you may have to watch the sky. It's not a lot of rain, but it's a little that could be a chance or enough to bring more fall-like temperatures. We're still tracking that storm Francine there, expected to head its way north and eventually northeast. Now, closer to home, the low and the high here, as we get a closer look at those, they're rotating just close enough to create strong wind gusts coming in from the north and moving and funneling its way down into California. That has elevated our fire threat today, and it will start to shift its way to the east, lowering that threat as we get into tomorrow. Our current wind gusts are right around 15 to 25 miles per hour, spreading across most of Northern California. And then finally, as we move into your Friday, mostly just centered through those delta spots. So again, everything starts to slow down for us from the north as we get into Friday. For the weekend, more widespread wind, just not quite as gusty and coming in from the north. That's the good news and the difference. Northerly winds are drier, the humidity is lower. This wind here on Saturday may be just as strong, but coming in off the ocean, That is going to raise the humidity for us, lowering some of the fire threats. Now, looking at our 500 millibar chart, Saturday, we start getting that warming trend starting to set right back into those 90s. So expect anywhere from mid to low 90s as we move toward Friday and Saturday. Then by Sunday, we see this big dip happening, and that could even bring us some showers. Slight chance for showers into your Monday, mostly north of 80. And then again, for Wednesday, we have another trough beginning to move in, almost more like an inside slider for us, as you see it mostly centered over areas just east of the valley and over Tahoe. So we'll wait and see whether or not we start getting more of this rain, or at least some light sprinkles in the forecast. Looking at the Futurecast radar, here it is. Pretty light. If we get anything at all, most of it would be less than 1/10 of an inch. More of it, again, north of Chico, north of 80 on Monday. And then looking into Wednesday, another quick little chance. Of course, we're still in the distant future here. This could all change. We may not get anything at all, but kind of nice to see what could be. As we move toward next Wednesday, again, very light, if anything at all, for the valley. Most of it to the north of 80 and mostly into those foothill spots. Now that'll all move through, and we'll get mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies on those days. And then after that, clearing skies and more sunshine. Lower foothills, the upper 80s to low 90s, 78 in Truckee and 74 in South Lake Tahoe tomorrow. Upper 60s to mid 70s from San Francisco to Oakland, about 93 degrees there for Vacaville. Over the next 3 days, low 90s for the next couple of days, then upper 70s. We start to cool down quickly on Sunday as that trough approaches. Mid 70s turn to upper 70s and low 80s into next week. And finally, next weekend, we're still looking good, still below the average of 90 degrees this time of year.
Finally starting to feel like fall. You know, I was shopping this past weekend, and they already have some Christmas decorations out.
My goodness.
Oh, my.
Skipping fall altogether,
Always
right?
doing that, right?
It reminds me, I got to get my fall wardrobe out.
Right.
Oh yes, hello, I'm Matt George. It's hard to believe we're already at week 4 of the high school football season, and yet things are still just heating up. Our Northwest Exteriors Game of the Week features a rematch of last year's section championships.
They have rings, and right now we don't.
On November 24th, 2023, the Casa Roble Rams defeated the 12 Bridges Raging Rhinos 23-22 for the Division 5 section championship. Wide receiver Ethan Horner caught the game-winning 2-point conversion to cap off a spectacular game, and hopefully Chapter 2 on Friday night can be more of the same.
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a shootout, to be honest. I don't know if we have bad blood or not, but I feel like we're all pretty cool, and I think it's going to be a really good game overall.
Ethan is the son of Rams head coach Chris Horner, who knows just how much the Rhinos are looking forward to a chance at revenge.
It sounded like a great idea scheduling them at the preseason because they had an opening, we have an opening, and now I'm going, maybe I shouldn't have done this because I know the minute we did that, they went back and that's the bulletin board material. They have this thing circled in Sharpie.
Turns out, Coach Horner was spot on.
This game has been circled, at least for me and probably all returning seniors, that this has just been circled that we need to win this game.
We need to definitely hit hard, hit fast, and we need to get our revenge on Casa.
All those juniors that are coming back, all the returning players have a little chip on their shoulder knowing how close they were to that moment.
In addition to being two great football programs, Casa Roble and 12 Bridges share a common challenge. A large portion of last year's teams graduated.
We're both pretty new. We both have young players coming up, and a lot of our senior classes are gone, so I think it'll be an interesting game.
Even with the loss of many talented seniors, the Raging Rhinos continue to impress with a 3-0 start.
To be 3-0 right now with a group of kids that are finding out how talented they can really be and sort of set their own legacy and cast their own shadow, I would say we're exceeding expectations.
Well, expectations are certainly high for Friday night's game. Tune in tomorrow night at 11 o'clock for a full recap with highlights from Casa Roble High School.
And happening today, Northern California opening its second Amazon Fresh store. This one is in Elk Grove. We told you about the other one that opened in Roseville earlier a couple months ago. So the store officially opened at 8 a.m. ABC10's Candace Red was there all morning, caught up with some shoppers that were camped out waiting for those doors to open.
Amazon Fresh is officially open in Elk Grove. Check it out for yourself. Again, it's located at the Ridge Shopping Center on Elk Grove Boulevard near Bruceville Road. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held this morning for the new grocery store. It offers the basics like produce, meat, bakery, and more. Now, people in Elk Grove have been waiting, get this, for about 2 years for the store to finally open, and now it has. Well, some people even waited overnight in front of the store. We spoke with some of the first customers in line to find out what's the big deal.
Well, I mean, it's been here for like the past 3 years. We didn't think it was going to open up, and you know, we heard about it opening up, and we're just like, hey, let's just wait outside. We're probably going to get something.
Because my son work here, and he invited us to come and check it out. So I said, yeah, we come and go check it out to see how it look like, and hopefully they got everything that we like.
From what our son said, there's a lot of goodies in there, and they make pizzas and have all kinds of food ready to eat too. So we're foodies.
The Dash Cart is one of the cool things about Amazon Fresh. It's basically a smart shopping cart that lets you skip the checkout line by scanning your items right then and there. You have to have the Amazon app, though, to enjoy this sort of perk. But anyone can shop at Amazon Fresh. That means you don't have to be a Prime member or have an Amazon account. This is the second Amazon Fresh store to open in Northern California. The first one opened in Roseville last month. By the way, the store hours are 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. In Elk Grove, Candace Red, ABC 10.
You want to get that little jingle we just heard? You want to get that on your
Yeah, I might make it my alarm.
your Spotify list? Okay, it is time for What to Watch.
And as we mentioned throughout the morning, there's a lot of good movies coming out this weekend. And that is why our Marcus Allen is joining us now. So, Mark, you have a new movie to tell us about, and it is creepy, cringy, more.
Yeah, this movie will haunt you forever. In fact, those words, if you watched Monday Night Football, I've been shouting so loud on social media and otherwise how much I love this movie. Monday Night Football, they put me on the big screen and said, Marcus Allen says this movie will haunt you forever. It will, for a multitude of reasons. It's not about me, it's about this movie. James McAvoy should be getting the accolades and awards. He was creepy in Split and other movies of such, and he does not disappoint in this. Move over, Jack Nicholson Shining. There's a new creepy guy in town, and I sat down with him to talk about it. Look.
Nice to see you.
You too, you too.
With that said, a little creeped out too.
Good. I'm glad
That's
to
how
hear it.
effective this is.
I'm glad to hear it.
I remember sitting toe-to-toe one time in Toronto opposite Anthony Hopkins after the first silence, and he said, you know, I've recognized that I've been famous for some time, and you have that feeling that someone's looking at you. He said, but once that movie came out, he said, people would physically go to the other side of the room or walk around it or take a different elevator. Are you ready for that?
Oh, no, come on. Paddy's so charming. Maybe. Do you know what I weirdly had? Because I played a lot of people with shaved heads, or bald people for quite a long time. It was different. I noticed people actually try to avoid me on the street when they saw a skinhead coming down the street, and I was like, wow. So I've already had a little taste of that, but I don't know. Maybe that'll happen with this guy.
Yeah, it's not the first time you played someone unhinged, but there's unhinged, and then there's this guy. And what's really creepy about him, when you first meet him, you kind of think, man, I'd love to have an icebreaker like that by my side all the time. Until.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think if I met Paddy, I'd probably last about 5 minutes before walking the other direction. But yeah, I think somebody like Ben, he's hurting, he's struggling in life, he doesn't really have the answers. And then in walks my character. And as much as he is unhinged and dangerous and all these things, he seems to have one of the secrets of life figured out, which is how to be happy. He is a dangerous person, but he's pretty happy actually. And that's really attractive quality, I think, in someone.
Just clips of the movie creep me out. And the thing about this movie, at its best, it is terrifying. And then in all the other scenes, it's just cringy in ways that'll make you uneasy. If you saw a comedy a few months ago with John Cena called Vacation Friends, I'm telling everybody, this is like that movie, Vacation Friends from Hell. Speak no evil. See it in theaters. I highly recommend get yourself into a big dark room with strangers and watch it that way. It's what to watch.
So he's generally happy in a super creepy way, right?
When you first meet him, he's just kind of one of those guys that's type A, over the top, breaks the ice in every situation, has no stranger that he meets no stranger, brings people in, and then the creepiness ensues.
Is he Scottish?
And yeah, the character's Scottish and the actor, James McAvoy, Scottish as well.
Okay, sounds good.
So there's that.
There you go, laddie.
Well, you never know what you'll see on the back roads, and this week, John Bartel takes us high above the American River.
We're taking time to cross the swaying Yankee Jims Bridge.
Well, if you're afraid of heights, this is not the drive for you. Well, it's the rickety little bridge on the American River. John Bartel here, making a little pit stop at Yankee Jims Bridge. Linking Colfax to the town of Forest Hill is one of Placer County's oldest and most rudimentary vehicle bridges. This is definitely the sketchiest bridge I've gone across. Yankee Jims Bridge spans 210 feet across the North Fork of the American River, and when the original wood bridge was built in the 1850s, it was the fastest way to get to the gold rush town of Yankee Jims. Well, at one point, Yankee Jims had about 5,000 people here, mostly mining. Yankee Jim, for whom the bridge is named after, discovered gold in the area, but instead of striking it rich, Yankee Jim made his fortune as a bandit stealing horses. That is, until someone caught him in the act, and Yankee Jim had to flee Placer County altogether. Well, in the 1930s, the old wood bridge was replaced with this metal suspension bridge. It's pretty simple, yet sturdy. It's passed the test of time. Today, Yankee Jims Bridge is a popular place to go swimming, and the flat boulders offer a good place to do a little sunbathing or meet up for Bible study, like these girls.
Isaiah 40:29. He gives strength to the faint and strength to the powerless.
Well, the Lord must be strengthening the old bridge too, because today the rusty railings and swaying bridge deck are starting to show its age. The one-lane crossing was designed for vehicles in the 1930s, not modern trucks, which sometimes surpass the 3-ton load capacity of the bridge.
It's currently listed as structurally deficient, as it can't handle most of the modern loads and vehicles today. We're going to build a new bridge just downstream that can handle them.
Recently, Placer County approved plans to build a new bridge next to Yankee Jims Bridge, which won't be torn down but preserved for its historic nature. From Yankee Jims Bridge, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Thanks so much for watching ABC 10 Tonight. Keep in mind, we're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus app, where you can always get your news and weather anytime, anywhere.
Hi, I'm Alex Bell. Join me weeknights at 6:30 on To The Point. Instead of just reporting on the problems, we cut through the noise and look for solutions. We're not afraid to investigate local stories. We're not afraid to include different perspectives. We're not afraid to hold those in power accountable. This is your community, and it's my community too, and we're here to make it better for everyone. Join me, Alex Bell, on To The Point, weeknights at 6:30, only on ABC 10.